Beautifully chanted. Time to start with Dasashloki. As you know, every Thursday we do a small text, and last Thursday we started Dasashloki, which is written by Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya. Last Thursday I explained that young Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya went out seeking for a guru, and he found his guru sitting in a cave, and he asked the guru if he would give him initiation. The guru asked him a simple question, "Who are you?" Because he wanted to know the affiliation that the child had, his knowledge, his background, what he needed to know who the child was. So normally he would have given his name, his family history, his gotra, but instead of that, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya composed the most exquisite treatise almost on Vedant, which is called Dasashloki, a composition of 10 shlokas. Last time we did the first shloka, and now we will continue with the second one today. Let me chant it first. Navarna shramachara dharma na medharana dhyana yoga dayopi anatma shayaham mamadhya sahana tadeko vashishta shiva kevaloham tadeko vashishta shiva kevaloham. Om. Translation. The castes are not for me, nor the observances and duties attached to the castes and the stages of life. Even the steadying of the mind, concentration, self-communion, and other courses are not for me. For the mistaken senses of I and mine, which rested on the non-self, have been abandoned. That one, the residue, the auspicious, the alone am I. So Bhagwan is continuing his introduction to the Guru. In Shlok number 1, Bhagwan explained or expounded to the Guru that I am not this body, which is made up of the 5 elements, Panchbhut, and also I am not the sense organs made up of the subtle body, neither the gross body nor the subtle body. So now in this shloka, he is giving 2 more things that he is not. And by eliminating one by one that which he is not, what remains is what he is. So the first thing he says is na varna ashram, Achara dharma, navarna ashramachara dharma, means the castes are not for me, nor the observances and duties attached to the castes and the stages of life. When we studied the Bhagavad Gita, in Shlok number 13 of the 4th Adhyay, Bhagwan Krishna says the same thing. He says, Chatur varnyam maya srishtam Guna karma vibhagashaha tasya kartaramapi mam vidya kartaramavyayam. Bhagwan says that he has created the 4 orders of society, which are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra, and he has classified all the people in these 4 categories according to their gunas. Not according to anything else, but according to their gunas, according to their tendencies, according to their propensities. And everyone in the universe is allotted to one particular order, one particular category of gunas, and they have their specific duties. And Bhagwan says, I am not in any of these, although I have created this order of society. So what are these categories? So they are called Varna and Ashram. So what is Ashram first? Ashram is dividing a person's individual life into 4 stages and then giving a kind of a duty to each of those stages. So you know them very well, but let's revise it quickly. The first stage is called Brahmacharya stage, where you study. So from the beginning of your life to your 25th year, you are in Brahmacharya ashram, where you study. That is your function. Then in Grihastha ashram, you go from 25th year to the 50th year, where you support the family, you support the society, you support the country. Those are your functions. Then in Vanaprastha ashram, you go from 50th year to the 75th year. And this is a transition time in your life, when at 75, you have mastered all the spiritual knowledge. You take sannyas, you go into sannyas ashram, you renounce, and then you focus simply on liberation or moksha. So Bhagavan says, I may have made all these, Bhagavan Krishna says, I have made all these categories, but I am not in any of them. Why? Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya is saying the same thing. Why? Because Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya sees himself not as a brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha or sannyas. He sees himself as Atma, Sat Chit Anand. And he has been, his life is not about 25 to 50, 50 to 75, 75 to 100. Atma is eternal. It was always there before he was born and after he is dead. So there is no question of ashram in Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya's life. He does not identify with the body which has an age from 0 to 100. He sees himself as eternal. So no ashram. Then what about Varna? So what is Varna? Varna also is a division that has been made according to the different duties, according to the different functions that a person has to perform based on whether that person is highly sattvic or tamasic or rajasic, or basically on his gunas. And it is not on the basis of birth. Okay. So it depends on your predominant tendency with which you have been born. So Varna ashram, Varna's stages can be divided into 3 different levels. So you can have the Varna system for a society, you can have a Varna system for an individual, and you can have a Varna system for your physical body also. So let's quickly go through that. For the division of a society, it's very important that there are different categories of people depending on their abilities, in what they can be doing, what they can do successfully. So there are some people who are thinkers. There are some people who want to study. There are some people who have an intellectual curiosity. There are some people who like to contemplate. So they will contemplate on who? They will contemplate on Brahma. So those people who contemplate on Brahma, who want to know about Brahma, they are the ones who are called Brahman. Then there are people who need to protect the country. There are people who need to have fight and ward off enemies. They have physical strength. So they are called the Kshatriyas. While the thinkers are thinking, the Kshatriyas are protecting. Then the third Varna comes in, which is while they are thinking and while they are protecting, you need someone to run the country. You need someone with administrative skills. You need someone who can make products available, who can transport products from one place to the other. So they are also important. So they are called the Vaishyas. And then finally, there are those people who are not very proactive. They don't like to go and do things. They're not thinkers. They are not very strong in terms of fighting a war, but they are very good in supporting, in helping and following instructions. So these categories of people are called Shudras. So you have the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras, where on the level of society. But Bhagavan says, I am none of these. I am neither a Brahmin, I am neither a Kshatriya, I am neither a Vaishya nor a Shudra, because I am not a thinker. I am Atma. I am not a protector. I am not an administrator. I am not a helper. I am simply Atma. So he has negated the Varna at the level of society. Then let's see how Varna works at the level of an individual. So in our individual life, in the beginning of our life, we study, right? So that is our function. That is when we study and develop Shraddha, develop Seva Bhav, then we are doing the Brahmana duty. When we protect, have courage for our own self, when we face our own challenges, when we have to fight against odds in our own life, we are doing the function of Kshatriya Varna. And when we have to produce goods, we have to create wealth, we have to manage our homes, then we are doing the function of the Vaishya Varna. And finally, when we do Seva, when we help others, we are doing the function of the Shudra Varna. At an individual level, at the society level, then at the individual level. But Atma has no duties. All that Atma does is witness. So even at the individual level, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya says, I am not Varna. I don't have any dharmas of the Varna ashram. And what about the physical body? So in the physical body also, different parts of our body have different tendencies or different functions or different varnas. So our brain, our mind that does all this intellectual work, you can call that the Brahman Varna. And then our muscles, our white blood cells, our skeleton, our skin, our bones, they do the job of protection. So they are in the Kshatriya Varna. And then we have the nervous system, we have the digestive system, we have the endocrine system, which transports, which produces, which creates. They are in the Vaishya Varna. And finally, the various cells which support all the functions in the body, they are the Shudra Varna. So Bhagwan says, look, I am none of these. I only enliven all these things to work. So I am neither ashram of different ages, nor I am Varna. I am none of these. None of these apply to me. So when he's giving his introduction, let's remember what this is. This is an introduction to his future guru. He says, I don't have the functions of ashram. I don't have the functions of Varna. Then he says one more thing. Na me dharana dhyana yoga dayopi. So he says that I don't need any sadhanas like dharana, dhyan, yog, adi. I don't need any of these sadhanas. Why is that? So for that we have to understand that now he's talking about the yoga darshan. There are 6 darshans, in Sanatan Dharma. Nyaya, Vaishaki, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa. Here Bhagwan is talking about Yoga darshan, which has been created by Patanjali Maharishi. So in this line of the shloka, Bhagwan is saying, he's referring to the yoga darshan, where 8 steps are given for reaching your final goal. What are they? Yama, Niyama, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. So he's by saying Dhyan, Dharma, Yoga, Adi, he means I don't need this Ashtang Yoga. I don't need this process of 8 steps because I see myself as Atma. Before you see yourself as Atma, in order to cleanse the mind, in order to bring the mind into a silence, in order to make the mind still, you need these steps. They are important. But when you have mastered all this, then no more is yoga sadhana required. All right. So why are these not my true identity? Finally, he gives that in the third line. Anatma Shrayaham Matya Sahana. He says, all these sadhanas, all these identities rest on the false notion that I am the body. All of them rest on the false belief that of I, limited I. And when you see yourself as a limited I, you also attach my, aham and mama. So I have transcended this dehanishtha. I have transcended this idea that I am body. I have transcended the idea that there are things which belong to me, because for me, no longer am I the body. I know very well that I am Atma. So Bhagavan says, so once false notion of I and mine are transcended, they are abandoned forever. When they are abandoned forever, a new nishtha is established, a new belief in who I am is what he says, Tadeko Vashishta Shiva Kevaloham. I am only one. That which remains when all other temporary things are negated. I am Shiva, the auspicious one. I am that alone. I am Atma, Sat, Chit, Anand. So like this, in 10 shlokas, Bhagwan will go from shloka to shloka, negating all the things that are asat, all the things that are mithya, and finally what will remain will be sat, who you truly are, who we all truly are. So that's what we will do. Now, next Thursday, I will go to the third shloka. Till then, food for thought, eat something. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityarma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. Chidarpanam, Jai Gurudev. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Gauri, for chanting. Thank you, Zoom team. Thank you all. God bless you all. See you tomorrow. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gauri.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gauri.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gauri. Good night, all.
God bless.
Hari Om.
Sorry,
God bless. God bless.
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you, Sai.
Thank you.